Malaysia, a realm where rainforests breathe under emerald canopies. Limestone cliffs stand like sentinels, and rivers whisper through tangled mangroves. This is a land of layers, of mist and shadow, of sound and silence, where hornbills glide across jungle skies with prehistoric grace. From the moss-draped peaks of Mount Kinabalu to the tangled depths of Borneo's lowland forests, to the shimmering coastlines kissed by monsoon winds, Malaysia shelters a hidden symphony of birds, startling, shy, and sublime. Here, pittas flash like fallen jewels among the roots, and trogons sit motionless, like forest spirits painted in living color. In this episode from BBTV Official, we invite you into the secret world of Malaysia's most beautiful birds. Uncovering over 30 rare and radiant species whose feathers, voices, and behaviors reveal the soul of a rainforest still very much alive. If this adventure stirs your sense of wonder, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and join us in celebrating the voices of the forest before they fall silent. Dusky broadbill, Coryton sumatranus. A flash of smoky gray and a comically wide beak. Glance up, and you may just spot the dusky broadbill, Coryton sumatranus, a name that perfectly captures its shadowy plumage and paddle-like bill. Found throughout Malaysia's lowland rainforests, this bird thrives where branches twist like ancient roots and vines spill down like forest curtains. It prefers the layered mid-canopy of dipterocarp forests in peninsular Malaysia and Borneo, where it slips between branches in loose family flocks, always half hidden in the half-light. These birds are often heard before they're seen, their breathy whistles rising like distant echoes through the trees. Measuring about 10 inches long, it has a chunky body, short tail, and strong wings. Its bill steals the spotlight, blush pink, massive, and oddly endearing, like something out of a children's fable. More than decoration, that bill is a finely tuned tool. It snaps up flying insects, plucks beetles from bark, and even handles slippery prey mid-flight. They forage together in small, coordinated groups, hopping methodically from branch to branch. When breeding season comes, pairs craft extraordinary nests, pendulous, bottle-shaped structures nearly 3 feet long. These woven sacks dangle from high branches, lined with moss and feathers, and swaying gently in the forest breeze. Females lay 2 to 3 eggs inside, and both parents share incubation and chick-rearing duties with quiet dedication. Not flashy, not loud, but unforgettable. The dusky broadbill is one of Malaysia's most peculiar forest dwellers, a creature of soft whistles and odd charm, hiding in plain sight beneath the green cathedral of trees. Bulwer's pheasant, Lophura bulweri. Named after Sir Henry Bulwer, a 19th-century diplomat and nature enthusiast, the Bulwer's pheasant, Lophura bulweri, carries a name as noble as its courtship display. But no title, however dignified, can match the theatrical elegance this bird brings to the forest floor. It lives exclusively in the misty hill forests of northern Borneo, where Sabah and Sarawak cradle its dwindling habitat. These birds prefer steep terrain, shaded ravines, and mossy undergrowth, realms where sunlight barely reaches and stillness reigns. Males reach about 31 inches in length, half of which is a dramatic, snowy white tail. Their body shimmers in velvety black, crowned by 2 vivid sky-blue facial wattles that droop like silk ribbons from each side of the head. The courtship ritual is mesmerizing. A male lowers his body, spreads his white tail like a fan, inflates his wattles, and sways side to side in a slow, deliberate rhythm. a silent opera played in feathers and light. Feeding is quiet and careful. These pheasants forage on the forest floor, scratching among decaying leaves for fallen fruits, seeds, termites, and soft shoots. Their diet shifts with the seasons, and they feed mostly during the cooler hours of morning and late afternoon. Breeding happens once a year. The female builds a shallow nest hidden in dense foliage, laying 2 pale eggs. She incubates alone, fiercely protective, while the male fades into the foliage after his show. Like a whispered secret shared by the rainforest, Bulwer's pheasant flickers into view and vanishes just as quickly, leaving only footprints, feathers, and wonder. Blue-headed pitta, Hydrornis baudi. Like a brushstroke of sapphire across the forest floor, the blue-headed pitta, Hydrornis baudi, lives up to its name in breathtaking fashion. The genus Hydrornis refers to water birds, though this species prefers earth and shadow over stream and splash. Its name honors the French naturalist Jean-Baptiste Baudi, yet the bird itself remains a quiet mystery beneath the canopy. Endemic to Borneo, this pitta is found in the lowland rainforests of Sabah and Sarawak. It favors dense understory, especially near dry streambeds and tangled roots, where light filters through in golden flecks and the air hums with insect life. Measuring around 7 inches long, the male wears an extraordinary palette, an electric blue crown, crimson belly, chestnut back, and a jet-black face sliced by a clean white eyebrow. The female, though duller, carries a soft charm of olive greens and earth tones. What makes this bird truly unforgettable is how it seems to glow in the gloom. A sudden flash of color through the underbrush, then silence. Its movement is like a whisper in technicolor. Feeding mostly on insects, earthworms, and small snails, the blue-headed pitta hops deliberately through the leaf litter, using its sharp bill to probe and flip debris. It often forages alone, with bursts of stillness followed by swift, darting lunges. Breeding remains poorly understood, but they are believed to nest on or near the ground in secluded spots. The domed nests are crafted from roots, moss, and leaves, hidden masterpieces invisible to the casual eye. To glimpse one is to catch a moment of forest magic, a jewel blinking open beneath the leaves, then vanishing back into shadow before your breath returns. Red-bearded bee-eater, Nyctiornis amictus. Like a flicker of fire dipped in emerald, the red-bearded bee-eater, Nyctiornis amictus, commands attention in a single glance. Its Latin name, amictus, meaning cloaked, pays tribute to the dramatic beard-like feathers flaring from its chin, as if the bird wears a crimson scarf against its vivid green suit. This elusive hunter haunts the humid lowland forests of peninsular Malaysia and Borneo, preferring the tangled greenery of primary rainforest. It often selects shaded forest edges, bamboo thickets, and lightly disturbed areas where prey is plentiful, but cover remains intact. Measuring up to 13 inches in length, this species is a marvel of jungle design. Males flash bright green across the body, a glowing red throat, beard, and a splash of blue on the forehead. Their long, curved bill adds an extra touch of elegance and lethality. The beard is more than ornament. It's a banner of identity. During brief vocal exchanges or territorial displays, the bird fans it outward, giving the impression of a flaming torch fluttering against the leaves. Aerial acrobatics define its lifestyle. The red-bearded bee-eater launches from a low perch, wings slicing the air in pursuit of bees, wasps, and dragonflies. Before devouring its catch, it slams the insect against a branch to neutralize any sting, a precision strike refined by instinct. Nesting takes place in excavated tunnels along forest banks or old termite mounds. These tunnels may stretch over 3 feet, protecting the eggs from heat, predators, and monsoon rains. Both parents share incubation and chick feeding. A splash of red, a flash of green, then gone. The red-bearded bee-eater is not just a bird, but a fleeting flame dancing through the silence of the forest. Bornean peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron schleiermacheri. In the hush of Borneo's ancient rainforest, a bird steps softly over damp leaves, cloaked in iridescence. Meet the Bornean peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron schleiermacheri, a name that honors Hermann Schleiermacher, the German zoologist who first described its mesmerizing form. Its genus, Polyplectron, meaning many spurs, hints at the multiple leg spurs adorning the males, symbols of defense and display. This pheasant exists only in the lowland and foothill forests of central and northern Borneo. It favors primary rainforest with thick understory, where filtered light dapples the ground and every footfall is muffled by centuries of fallen leaves. At just 20 inches long, it's one of the smallest peacock pheasants. Yet it dazzles. A rich tapestry of bronze, brown, and olive scales, each eye spot on its tail shimmering green and turquoise like jungle gemstones. Its soft blue-gray face, crowned by a short crest, adds a touch of solemn grace. Its crowning glory lies in those ocelli, eye-like spots that flare open during courtship. With tail spread and wings arched, the male performs a slow circular dance, eyes fixed on his mate, every feather a flickering gem catching stray beams of light. Feeding quietly on insects, seeds, and small fruits, it scratches methodically through the underbrush, often alone or in shy pairs. Its movements are cautious, shadow-like, in tune with a forest that hides more than it reveals. Little is known of its breeding, but ground nests are presumed, lined with leaves and hidden beneath low shrubs. 1 or 2 eggs are laid, and the female guards them with silent vigilance. The Bornean peacock pheasant is a forest phantom, rare, regal, and vanishing, a pulse of color in a world steadily turning gray. Whitehead's trogon, Harpacts whiteheadi. Wrapped in colors that seem borrowed from a dream, the Whitehead's trogon, Harpacts whiteheadi, carries the name of British explorer John Whitehead, who unveiled this gem during his Bornean expeditions in the late 1800s. The name Harpactes hints at the bird's predatory feeding habits, derived from the Greek for to seize. It dwells in the cool, mist-laced montane forests of northern Borneo, especially in the cloud-draped ridges of Sabah. There, between 3,000 and 6,500 feet above sea level, it finds sanctuary among moss-covered trunks and tangled vines. Measuring around 10 inches long, this trogon is a vision of contrast. Males boast a rich crimson belly, golden-orange beak, and slate-blue back, all set beneath a black mask and a glowing pale eye ring. Females, softer in hue, swap red for cinnamon brown, but retain the same poised elegance. What makes this bird unforgettable is its silence. It perches motionless for long stretches, letting its vibrant plumage blend with sun-dappled shadows. When it moves, it's a whisper. Wings closed, head tilting slowly, eyes scanning the green theater below. An ambush feeder by nature, it launches short flights to snatch caterpillars, beetles, and cicadas from branches mid-air. It often joins mixed species flocks, moving patiently through the sub-canopy in search of a meal. Nesting habits remain partially veiled, but like other trogons, it likely carves out nest cavities in rotting stumps or termite-softened trees. Both parents participate in chick rearing, taking turns in their leafy hideout. Elusive yet radiant, the Whitehead's trogon is less a song and more a shimmer, a quiet miracle resting where mountain air meets feathered flame. Whitehead's spider hunter, Arachnothera juliae. With a name as curious as its feeding habits, the Whitehead's spider hunter, Arachnothera juliae, blends tribute and instinct. Spider hunter reflects its taste for spiders and nectar, while Whitehead honors British explorer John Whitehead. The species epithet Juliae is believed to be a dedication to a woman named Julia, her identity now lost to time, though immortalized in feathers. This bird graces the misty montane forests of Borneo, particularly around Mount Kinabalu and the Crocker Range. It favors elevations between 3,000 and 7,000 feet, where cloud-draped moss clings to twisted branches and orchids bloom from bark. Small yet sprightly, it measures just over 7 inches long. Its plumage is understated, olive-brown above, yellowish below, but its slightly decurved bill and piercing black eyes give it a sharp, alert demeanor. Though not flashy, it blends perfectly into the filtered greens of the canopy. What sets it apart is its remarkable feeding technique. Unlike hummingbirds, it doesn't hover. Instead, it creeps like a vine, probing tubular flowers and curled leaves with surgical precision. Its long bill allows it to reach nectar deep within blossoms, but it's equally adept at plucking spiders from webs or snatching insects mid-leap. The nesting season remains cloaked in mystery, but it's thought to construct elongated hanging nests from plant fibers and moss, suspended from the ends of branches. Clutches are typically small, and both parents share in the care of the young. Quick, quiet, and finely tuned to its forest stage, the whitehead spider hunter is not a bird of grand displays, but a master of the subtle, a whisper of movement where shadow meets bloom. Bornean wren-babbler, Ptilocicla leucogrammica, low to the forest floor, where roots twist like ancient fingers and light barely touches soil, scurries the Bornean wren-babbler, Ptilocicla leucogrammica. Its name draws from Greek, leuco meaning white, and grammica meaning lined, a nod to the pale streaks across its chest, like etchings carved by the forest itself. Endemic to Borneo, this elusive bird inhabits primary lowland rainforests in Sabah and Sarawak. It favors shady, moist understories near streams or gullies, where the air hangs heavy and silence is broken only by the rustle of moving leaves. Measuring just 5.5 inches long, it's a compact bird with earthy tones, warm brown plumage, a faintly streaked throat, and flanks brushed with olive. Its tail is short, often flicked as it hops, and its legs are strong for navigating the cluttered floor. This species is best known for its secretive behavior. Rarely seen in open view, it darts like a shadow between roots and fallen logs, foraging with mouse-like precision. It probes leaf litter for ants, beetles, and tiny arthropods, relying on sound and movement rather than sight. While little is known about its reproductive habits, it's believed to build cup-shaped nests near ground level, hidden beneath fern fronds or buttress roots. Clutch size is likely small, with both parents sharing in feeding and care. To spot a Bornean wren-babbler is to witness rainforest sleight of hand, a creature stitched into the fabric of the forest floor, living not in fanfare, but in rhythm with the pulse of the earth. Bornean leaf bird, Chloropsis kinabaluensis. As if carved from sunlight and jungle leaves, the Bornean leaf bird, Chloropsis kinabaluensis, bears a name rooted in its emerald cloak. Chloropsis combines Greek words for green and appearance, while Kinabaluensis honors its mountainous refuge, Mount Kinabalu, the towering heart of Borneo. This bird calls the humid montane forests of northern Borneo home, thriving between 3,000 and 6,500 feet in elevation. Preferring dense canopy and mid-story tangles, it inhabits the cloud-wreathed ridges of Sabah, where moss drips from branches and orchids bloom in silence. Measuring about 6 inches long, it wears a seamless coat of green, blurring the line between feather and foliage. The male adds drama with a jet-black face mask and sapphire blue throat. The female, subtler, omits the throat patch, but matches his elegance in form. What defines this species is its mastery of mimicry. The Bornean leaf bird imitates the calls of other birds with eerie precision, blending into the forest not just in color, but in voice. Its song can trick even experienced birders, echoing through the canopy like an avian ventriloquist. Feeding on fruit, nectar, and insects, it forages in pairs or small family groups. Darting through branches, it probes flowers with its slender bill and snatches mid-air insects with acrobatic ease. Breeding behavior remains largely veiled, but like its relatives, it likely builds cup-shaped nests hidden in dense foliage. The female incubates while the male guards nearby, their movements barely disturbing the leaves around them. To hear its borrowed songs and catch a glint of jade between branches is to witness illusion in motion, a bird not content with camouflage, but one that rewrites the forest's script as it sings. Bornean tree, Dendrocheta cinerascens. Clad in smoky hues and crowned with curiosity, the Bornean tree, Dendrocheta cinerascens, carries a name that mirrors its lifestyle. Dendrocheta fuses Greek for tree and magpie, while cinerascens, meaning ash-colored, evokes the soft grays of its feathered cloak. Endemic to Borneo's mountain forests, this species is found in Sabah and Sarawak, typically at elevations between 3,000 and 6,000 feet. It favors the upper canopy of mossy hill forests, where gnarled limbs cradle lichen and wind stirs through epiphytes like breath. Stretching up to 15 inches from beak to tail tip, it cuts an elegant profile. Its long tail, washed in gray, black, and ivory, serves as both balance and banner. A rufous back, slate-gray chest, and pale face complete the understated yet graceful design. More than its looks, the Bornean tree is known for its voice, a metallic, bubbling chatter that rolls through the forest like a wind chime blown off rhythm. It's gregarious, often joining mixed species flocks, hopping and gliding between branches with swift precision. An opportunist at heart, it feasts on fruits, insects, small vertebrates, and even bird eggs. Agile and alert, it scans treetops and undergrowth alike, often raiding nests or snapping up unsuspecting prey mid-motion. Breeding season brings bursts of energy as pairs construct shallow stick nests in the canopy. Both parents participate in raising the chicks, defending the nest with alarm calls and dramatic swoops. Not just a shadow in the treetops, the Bornean tree is a voice, a movement, a flicker of ash and rust weaving through the green tapestry, bold, elusive, and unmistakably alive. Mountain peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron inopinatum. In the cool silence of Malaysia's mountain forests, a bird shimmers like wet bronze in the mist. Meet the mountain peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron inopinatum. Its name inopinatum, meaning unexpected, reflects the surprise of discovering such exquisite beauty hiding in the shadows of the highlands. Polyplectron, or many spurs, alludes to the male's multiple leg spurs, weapons and ornaments rolled into one. This secretive species lives only in peninsular Malaysia's central highlands, particularly in the Titiwangsa Range. It favors mossy montane forests cloaked in drifting fog, often above 3,000 feet, where tree trunks are painted in lichens and the ground is cushioned with fallen leaves. Measuring around 26 inches long, this bird carries itself with quiet grace. Males are clad in rich chocolate brown, adorned with rows of green-blue eye spots on their tail and upper wings, each glowing like jeweled coins scattered across velvet. The female is smaller and less ornate, blending perfectly with the forest floor. The male's display is a slow, deliberate dance. He fans his tail in a wide arc, revealing the glinting ocelli, then circles the female with slow steps, each movement a whisper of courtship in feathered form. Feeding mostly on insects, seeds, and small fruits, it forages by scratching through leaf litter, pausing to listen before plunging its beak into the earth. Its movements are steady, almost reverent, as it navigates its silent world. Nesting occurs on the ground beneath dense shrubs or ferns. The female lays 1 or 2 eggs in a shallow scrape and tends them alone, hidden from predators by foliage and stillness. Like a rare gem kept under forest lock and key, the mountain peacock pheasant gleams not in sunlight, but in secrecy. Malaysian rail-babbler, Eupetes macroceros. In the dim corridors of Malaysian rainforests, a strange figure glides across the forest floor like a shadow set to music. This is the Malaysian rail-babbler, Eupetes macroceros, a bird whose name fuses eupetes, meaning good walker, and macroceros, large horn, a nod to its prominent nape wattle and elegant gait. Found across peninsular Malaysia and parts of Sumatra and southern Thailand, this species is a creature of the lowland primary forests, where fallen branches, tangled roots, and moist leaf litter form an intricate maze it knows intimately. Measuring about 11 inches long, the rail-babbler cuts a slender figure, russet brown above, pale below, with a striking black and white facial pattern and a bright blue patch at the side of its neck, usually hidden, but flared like a signal when calling. Its most captivating trait is its soft, ventriloquial call, a series of echoing notes that seem to float from nowhere, bouncing between tree trunks. Few see it, but many hear it, and even seasoned birders are fooled by its deceptive vocal placement. A terrestrial forager, it patrols the undergrowth on foot, head bobbing with every step, hunting for insects, spiders, and small snails. It moves with purpose, low, alert, and silent. Breeding remains poorly documented, but scattered records suggest ground nests built from twigs and fibers, camouflaged under dense vegetation. Only 1 or 2 eggs are laid, and parental behavior is still largely a mystery. A phantom stitched into the underlayer of the forest, the Malaysian rail-babbler is not a bird of color or song, but of rhythm, secrecy, and echoes that walk. Malay whistling thrush, Myophonus robinsoni. In the quiet valleys where mountain rivers slip between mossy stones, a voice rings out, clear, sweet, and haunting. It belongs to the Malay whistling thrush, Myophonus robinsoni, a name that honors naturalist H.C. Robinson, with myophonus, meaning muscle voice in Greek, fitting for a bird whose call seems to echo from rock to cloud. Endemic to peninsular Malaysia, this thrush dwells in cool montane forests above 3,000 feet, particularly in the Cameron Highlands and Fraser's Hill. It lingers near shaded streams, where water trickles endlessly and shadows hold their breath. At roughly 10 inches long, it wears a cloak of iridescent midnight blue. When caught in dappled light, the feathers shimmer with hues of violet and cobalt, like moonlight on wet stone. A black bill and dark eyes add to its mysterious presence. Its voice is its signature. Unlike the babble of many forest birds, the Malay whistling thrush produces mellow, flute-like notes that drift across the undergrowth. Lonely, deliberate, and almost mournful. This species hunts alone, hopping between rocks or probing stream banks for insects, worms, and small invertebrates. It favors dawn and dusk, when few other sounds disturb its melodic reign. Breeding likely occurs during the rainy season. It constructs cup-shaped nests of moss and roots, tucked near stream edges or on sheltered ledges. Clutches are small, and the parents raise their chicks quietly, far from prying eyes. To hear its song is to feel the forest exhale. The Malay whistling thrush is not a burst of color, but a soul set to music, carried gently on the breath of mountain rain. Buffy fish owl, Bubo ketupu. A chorus of chatter spills through the forest mist, rising like laughter from unseen corners. At the center of this lively ruckus is the chestnut-crowned laughing thrush, Garrulax erythrocephalus, a bird named for its rust-colored crown, erythrocephalus meaning red head in Greek, and its famously social voice that ripples through the trees. This animated species inhabits montane forests of peninsular Malaysia, typically above 4,000 feet. Fraser's Hill and the Cameron Highlands are among its favored haunts, cool, moss-laden places where clouds cling to tree trunks and bamboo thickets echo with birdsong. Measuring about 10 inches long, It wears a mosaic of colors: chestnut crown, gray cheeks, warm olive back, and soft white underparts lightly streaked with brown. A yellow eye ring gives it a perpetually alert expression, like a curious observer in feathered form. What sets this species apart is not its appearance, but its personality. It travels in noisy flocks, dashing through the understory with endless chatter, often joining mixed species groups. Its voice, raucous, bubbly, almost human in tone, serves both to bond the group and warn of intruders. Omnivorous by nature, it gleans insects, berries, seeds, and even small snails from the forest floor and low shrubs. Agile and restless, it rarely sits still for long, always moving, always talking. Nesting usually occurs during the wetter months. The nest is a compact bowl woven from rootlets and moss, hidden in low vegetation. Both parents take part in incubation and feeding, raising their chicks amid a chorus of communal care. To witness the chestnut-crowned laughing thrush is to glimpse forest life in motion, feathers, sound, and spirit woven into a single jubilant presence. Malayan cuckoo shrike, Coracina larutensis. In the quiet reaches of Malaysia's rain-drenched canopies, a shadow moves with the grace of mist and the precision of memory. Meet the Malayan cuckoo shrike, Coracina larutensis, a name echoing its lineage of mimicry, cuckoo, and shrike-like stature, shrike, though it truly belongs to neither. This elusive bird is found only in peninsular Malaysia, clinging to remnants of lowland and montane rainforests from the Larut Hills to Taman Negara. It prefers tall, undisturbed forest, often vanishing into the green cathedral before one can catch more than a whisper of gray. Measuring around 11 inches, the Malayan cuckoo shrike wears a uniform of soft ash gray with darker wings and a slightly hooked bill. Males and females are nearly identical, their subtle hues blending seamlessly with the filtered light of the forest canopy. What sets this bird apart is its stillness. Unlike louder canopy dwellers, it moves deliberately, as if weighing each flutter. Solitary or in quiet pairs, it often perches motionless for long stretches before silently gliding to the next tree. An adept insectivore, it scans from high vantage points, then launches into quick flights to snatch beetles, caterpillars, and moths mid-air. Occasionally, it joins mixed species flocks, drifting like a ghost through the leaves. Little is known of its nesting behavior. It is believed to nest high in trees, building a cup-shaped nest of twigs and bark lined with softer fibers. Breeding season likely aligns with the wettest months, when food is plentiful and the forest sings loudest. In a world growing louder and busier, the Malayan cuckoo shrike reminds us that beauty often lies in restraint, and that the rarest songs are sometimes the quietest. Asian glossy starling, Aplonus panaiensis. It begins with a shimmer, like sunlight glancing off polished obsidian. Meet the Asian glossy starling, Aplonus panaiensis, a name that hints at its origins in Panay, Philippines. Yet today it flourishes across Southeast Asia. Aplonus is derived from Greek, meaning simple, though there's nothing plain about this radiant bird. In Malaysia, this starling thrives in bustling urban centers, coastal towns, and village fringes, adapting seamlessly to human presence. It roosts in high-rise buildings as easily as in forested canopies, filling city evenings with a chorus of electric chatter. Sleek and slender, the adult measures around 8.5 inches in length. Its plumage gleams with iridescent green-black hues, and when caught in sunlight, it flares with purples and blues. What captivates most, though, are its piercing crimson eyes, glowing like twin embers set in a metallic frame. This bird's most remarkable feature is its gregarious nature. In massive flocks, it swirls through the skies at dusk, synchronized, fluid, almost balletic. These movements aren't random. They are social rituals, defensive strategies, and sensory performances all at once. Feeding primarily on fruits, berries, and nectar, it also takes insects, especially during breeding. Ever curious, it investigates urban food scraps and garden offerings with opportunistic flair. It nests in cavities, tree holes, crevices, and even drainage pipes, lining them with leaves and soft debris. Both parents share duties, fiercely guarding their chicks and feeding them with patient precision. As twilight descends over Malaysian cities, a ripple of wings and crimson glances marks their return. In their synchronized flight, house crow, Corvus splendens. With a glint of cunning in its eye and a swagger in its step, the house crow, Corvus splendens meaning splendid crow, has mastered the art of urban survival. Though its name suggests domesticity, this bird is no house pet. It is a strategist, a scavenger, and a social genius. Originally from the Indian subcontinent, it has made itself at home along Malaysia's coasts, ports, markets, and city streets. Where humans go, the house crow follows, its range expanding not through forest paths, but along shipping lanes and trade routes. Measuring around 16 inches in length, it sports a glossy black body with a smoky gray neck and breast, a subtle tuxedo of the avian world. Its beak is strong, its stare intense, and its movements calculated. What sets this crow apart is its unparalleled intelligence. It forms alliances, observes patterns, and even learns how to open trash bins or tail food vendors with uncanny precision. Communication flows constantly, caws, clicks, and gestures exchanged in what feels like urban diplomacy. Omnivorous and endlessly adaptable, it feeds on everything from fish scraps and fruit to leftovers and carrion. No meal is too humble, no location too chaotic. Nesting often occurs in tree forks, utility poles, or building crevices. Pairs are monogamous, and both parents guard their clutch of 3 to 5 pale eggs with unwavering vigilance, fiercely defending their turf from intruders. As traffic hums and market stalls quiet down, a silhouette lingers on a rooftop, watchful, patient, unyielding. In the shadows of concrete and steel, the house crow thrives, a reminder that even among glass towers and neon lights, nature doesn't retreat, it adapts. Common Eora, Agathina tifia. Like a flash of citrus against a sea of green, the common Eora, Agathina tifia, named from the Greek aegis, meaning shield, earns its title as one of Southeast Asia's most vivid songsters. Its name may suggest ordinariness, but this little bird delivers anything but. In Malaysia, the common Eora graces gardens, parks, lowland forests, and wooded edges, wherever trees lean into sunlight and insects hum beneath the leaves. It is a bird of both wilderness and suburbia, always within reach of greenery. Measuring around 5.5 inches, males in breeding plumage are impossible to miss. Bold yellow underparts, velvety black capes, and white striped wings give them a theatrical charm. Females wear a more muted olive-yellow coat, subtle, yet no less elegant. What sets the Eora apart is its performance. During courtship, males fluff their feathers, leap between branches, and flutter in mid-air, singing clear and descending whistles, an aerial ballet staged for one viewer only. It's a tireless feeder, flicking through foliage in search of caterpillars, beetles, and spiders. Agile and methodical, it combs the canopy with restless energy, sometimes joining mixed-species flocks for added protection and efficiency. Nesting is a delicate affair. Using cobwebs, bark, and fine plant fibers, the Eora builds a small cup nest nestled in the fork of a branch. Both parents share duties, incubating their clutch of 2 to 4 eggs and fiercely shielding their young from predators. At day's end, as sunlight filters through leaves in golden dapples, the Eora's call rings out, pure, wistful, unwavering. A small voice among giants, yet unmistakably part of Malaysia's forest song. chestnut-crowned laughing thrush, Garrulax erythrocephalus. In the emerald hush of montane forests, a sudden burst of laughter tumbles through the mist, not human, but feathered. Meet the chestnut-crowned laughing thrush, Garrulax erythrocephalus, named for its reddish-brown crown and infectious bubbling calls. Garrulax comes from Latin for chatterbox, and this bird lives up to every syllable. Found in the cooler elevations of peninsular Malaysia, particularly in Fraser's Hill and the Cameron Highlands, it favors dense undergrowth, bamboo thickets, and fern-filled slopes. It moves with ease through tangled trails few eyes ever reach. This thrush measures around 10 inches in length, its body clothed in warm earth tones, olive-gray wings, soft white underparts streaked with brown, and that signature chestnut head like a crown dipped in autumn. The yellow orbital ring adds a spark of brightness to its expressive face. Its true hallmark lies in its voice. These birds travel in excitable groups, their rolling laughter rising in waves, conversational, animated, and unmistakably social. Their calls aren't just sounds, they're songs of togetherness. They forage actively on the forest floor and in low shrubs, picking through leaf litter for insects, fruits, and seeds. Often seen in mixed flocks, they move as a chorus, chirping, flitting, and pausing in sync. During breeding season, pairs break from the group to build well-concealed nests in thick vegetation. The cup-shaped structures hold a small clutch, and both parents share the duties of care with quiet commitment. With every note and flutter, the chestnut-crowned laughing thrush fills the forest with colorless music. Its feathers may blend with the leaves, but its spirit sings far beyond the trees. White-winged duck, Asarcornis scuculata. At twilight, when the forest pond mirrors the last streaks of sky, a solitary silhouette glides silently across the surface. This is the white-winged duck, Asarcornis scuculata, a species whose name hints at both form and function. Scuculata refers to its shield-like scale markings, while its ghostly white wing patches shine during flight-like flashes of moonlight. In Malaysia, it survives in small fragmented pockets of lowland swamp forest and secluded oxbow lakes, particularly in peninsular reserves like Belum Temengor. It seeks remote, undisturbed wetlands shaded by towering trees, a world hushed beneath tangled canopies. One of Southeast Asia's largest ducks, it measures up to 32 inches long and can weigh over 6 pounds. Its plumage is mottled dark brown and black, with a pale head and neck, giving it a strangely prehistoric look, like something left behind by time. But it's the flight that startles. Rarely seen in the air, when it lifts off, broad white wing panels burst into view, a stark contrast against the dim understory, vanishing as quickly as they appear. A mostly nocturnal feeder, it wades slowly through shallows to probe for aquatic plants, snails, small fish, and insect larvae. During daylight, it remains motionless, pressed into reed beds or hidden under overhanging branches. Nesting begins in the dry season. The female chooses tree cavities near water, laying 7 to 12 eggs inside. She incubates alone, fiercely guarding the nest, while the male lingers nearby in stoic silence. Haunting, elusive, and on the brink, the white-winged duck is less a symbol of wilderness than a ghost of what wilderness once was, drifting quietly, hoping not to disappear. Red jungle fowl, Gallus gallus. When morning breaks through the forest canopy, a sharp, triumphant crow pierces the air, the voice of the red jungle fowl, Gallus gallus, ancestor of all domestic chickens. The name Gallus means rooster in Latin, while Gallus in its species form emphasizes its wild origin. It's not just a bird, it's the root of a global lineage. In Malaysia, it inhabits secondary forests, village edges, bamboo groves, and lowland thickets. Though often seen near human settlements, True jungle fowl remain wary, slipping between sun-dappled shadows and fern-covered trails. Measuring about 27 inches long, the male is a blaze of colors: iridescent greens, rich oranges, crimson wattles, and a golden hackle that glows in the morning sun. The female, more understated in mottled browns, disappears easily into underbrush. Its standout feature is its courtship display. The male fans his arching tail, lowers one wing in a sideways strut, and lets out a rhythmic call, half song, half challenge. It's a spectacle of both dominance and allure. An opportunistic ground forager, it scratches tirelessly through leaf litter for seeds, grains, termites, berries, and fallen fruit. Quick to flee at the slightest disturbance, it combines caution with constant motion. Nesting is simple but well hidden, a shallow scrape beneath a shrub or grass clump. The hen lays 4 to 7 eggs, tending them alone until hatching. Chicks emerge alert and feathered, ready to follow their mother on nimble feet within hours. The red jungle fowl is both origin and echo. Its call rooted in ancient forests, its legacy etched into barnyards across the globe. Wild at heart, yet forever familiar. Ferruginous partridge, Caloperdix oculeus. A flicker of rusty flame darts through the undergrowth, low, swift, and silent. This is the ferruginous partridge, Caloperdix oculeus, its name painting a vivid picture. Ferruginous, for its iron-red hues, and oculeus, referring to the subtle eye-like markings scattered across its plumage. Native to peninsular Malaysia and parts of Sumatra and Thailand, this ground-dwelling bird thrives in dense, humid lowland forests. It favors shadowed slopes and bamboo thickets, where leaf litter muffles footsteps and dappled light masks its presence. Measuring about 11 inches in length, the ferruginous partridge is richly patterned. Its body is cloaked in warm chestnut and gray tones, accented with bold black bars across the flanks and back. The face is pale with a curious expression, framed by fine streaks and an alert red eye. What makes this species unforgettable is its quiet elegance. Unlike more flamboyant relatives, it moves with understated grace, relying on camouflage and stillness rather than showmanship. One might only glimpse a quick flash of rufous vanishing between roots. Its diet is as earthy as its colors: seeds, fallen fruits, shoots, and small invertebrates unearthed by patient scratching. It forages in pairs or small family groups, communicating with soft clucks and whistles. During the breeding season, the female selects a concealed nest site on the forest floor, lining a shallow depression with leaves. She lays 4 to 6 eggs and incubates them while the male keeps watch nearby, his presence silent but steady. The ferruginous partridge is a creature of subtle beauty, a bird that leaves no trail but lingers in memory like a warm ember glowing beneath the forest's breath. Streaked wren-babbler, Gnapothera brevicodata. Barely the size of a curled leaf and just as easily missed, the streaked wren-babbler, Gnapothera brevicodata, is a master of camouflage. Its name reveals much. Brevicodata means short-tailed, describing the bird's stubby rear, while Gnapothera hints at its skulking, ground-loving habits. Found in the montane forests of peninsular Malaysia, especially in the Titiwangsa range, this elusive species prefers shaded, damp undergrowth where moss carpets the rocks and silence reigns. It stays low, close to ferns and tangled roots, rarely rising above ankle height. Measuring only 4.5 to 5 inches in length, the streaked wren-babbler wears a coat of finely barred brown and buff. Its plumage mimics the forest floor, streaks across the chest and flanks break up its outline, allowing it to vanish in plain sight. Its standout trait lies in its secrecy. Rarely seen in the open, it darts between logs and leaf litter like a forest phantom, pausing just long enough to vanish again. It utters a thin metallic call, barely audible, yet precise, like a pin dropped in silence. Feeding on tiny insects, ants, and spiders, it probes the soil and crevices with tireless intent. Each hop and peck is deliberate, tuned to the rhythm of a hidden world few ever notice. Breeding remains little documented, but it likely nests close to the ground in hidden pockets beneath overhanging roots or rocks. Clutch size is presumed small, with both parents sharing care duties. A creature of shadows and stillness, the streaked wren-babbler is less a bird and more a forest murmur, fleeting, earthy, and beautifully understated. Chestnut-capped laughing thrush, Garrulax mitratus. Laughter echoes through the misty hills, not from human mouths, but from feathers. Meet the chestnut-capped laughing thrush, Garrulax mitratus, named for its reddish-brown cap and the cheerful, chattering calls that spill from forest thickets like conversation at a lively gathering. The Latin mitratus means wearing a turban, a poetic nod to its crown-like coloration. This sociable species dwells in the cool montane forests of peninsular Malaysia, especially in Fraser's Hill and the Cameron Highlands. It frequents bamboo groves and moss-draped ridges, weaving through foliage in groups that seem inseparable from the landscape's soundscape. At roughly 9 inches long, the chestnut-capped laughing thrush sports soft gray plumage, a bold chestnut cap, a black mask that sweeps from beak to eye, and delicate white edging on the wings. Its colors, while subtle, are drawn with painterly precision. Its standout feature lies in its gregariousness. Rarely alone, it moves in noisy flocks, calling constantly with bubbling whistles and chuckling notes. These vocalizations act like social glue, binding the group, alerting to danger, and coloring the silence. On the forest floor and in low shrubs, it gleans berries, insects, and seeds. Agile and inquisitive, it often joins mixed species flocks, foraging energetically in short bursts between pauses of scanning and calling. Nesting begins as the rains fade. Pairs construct neat cup-shaped nests in dense foliage, where 2 to 3 pale blue eggs are laid. Both parents help raise the young, shielding them beneath a fortress of leaves and sound. Joyful yet elusive, the chestnut-capped laughing thrush is a voice of the Malaysian highlands, woven into its air, its rhythm, and the quiet laughter of the hills. Blue-banded pitta, Erythropita arquata. A flicker of crimson, a flash of turquoise, then stillness. The blue-banded pitta, Erythropita arquata, vanishes as quickly as it appeared. Its name speaks of color and shape. Erythropita for its red-dominated palette, and arquata meaning arched, alluding to the curved, vivid blue band across its breast. Endemic to Borneo, this jewel-toned bird haunts the lowland and hill rainforests of Sabah and Sarawak. It prefers shadowy understory near streams and gullies, where fallen leaves cushion its footsteps and tangled roots hide its secrets. Small and stout, it measures around 6.5 inches long. Males are dressed in fiery red below, velvety black above, with electric blue wings and that glowing chest band that sets them apart. The female is similarly patterned, though slightly duller in tone, subtle only by comparison. Its signature trait is its ability to vanish. Perfectly still one moment, gone the next, it slips between roots and branches with uncanny silence. Unlike canopy dwellers, this pitta is earthbound, its brilliance concealed just inches above the soil. Feeding on earthworms, snails, and insects, it probes the damp leaf litter with a strong bill, cocking its head between strikes. Foraging is solitary and focused, each movement precise and efficient. Nesting remains rarely observed, but like its relatives, it's believed to build a mossy dome of leaves and twigs on or near the ground. The clutch is small, and both parents likely share care, concealed beneath the green veil of the forest. The blue-banded pitta is a living ember, briefly aflame in the undergrowth, then gone, leaving only a memory of color in the mind's eye. Crested fireback, Lophura ignita. A shimmering blaze walks the forest floor, the crested fireback, Lophura ignita, whose name evokes both its dramatic crest and the fiery sheen that lights up its back like glowing embers. Ignita stems from Latin for set on fire, a tribute to its incandescent plumage. This pheasant is native to the dense rainforests of the Malay Peninsula and Borneo, where it threads through the undergrowth of lowland dipterocarp forests. It favors secluded, humid valleys where filtered sunlight dances off leaves and the air stays thick with the scent of rain. Measuring around 28 inches in length, the male is a marvel of color and texture. Iridescent blues and blacks ripple across his body, flaring into golden-orange tail coverts. A velvet crest curls over his head like a crown of smoke, while stark white legs flash beneath. The female, in contrast, wears a more subdued chestnut brown, with intricate mottling that blends seamlessly into her surroundings. The male's most mesmerizing trait is his courtship display. Wings flared, tail lifted, crest arched, he struts like a spark sprung to life. His low, rumbling calls echo through the underbrush, an invitation and a warning. Primarily ground foragers, they scratch through soil and leaves for fruits, seeds, termites, and small invertebrates. They roam quietly in pairs or family groups, alert to the slightest rustle. Breeding coincides with the rainy season. Nests are simple scrapes lined with leaves, where the female lays 4 to 6 eggs. She incubates them alone, fiercely guarding the nest, while the male patrols nearby, ever vigilant. To glimpse the crested fireback is to witness a forest spirit cloaked in flame, a living ember that vanishes between shadow and sunbeam. Malayan peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron malacense. A quiet jewel glides through the undergrowth, the Malayan peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron malacense, a name that conjures both elegance and place. Polyplectron refers to the multiple spurs on the male's legs, and malacense honors the bird's native home, peninsular Malaysia. This elusive species dwells in the lowland rainforests of the Malay Peninsula, favoring shaded forest floors thick with leaf litter and ferns. It shuns human disturbance, thriving only in undisturbed primary forests, where silence is broken only by its haunting, rhythmic calls. Reaching about 20 inches in length, the male is a spectacle of pattern and shimmer. Earthy brown plumage is adorned with rows of brilliant turquoise-blue ocelli, or eye spots, each edged in iridescent green, fanning across the wings and tail like sequins on velvet. The female is smaller and more subdued, built for camouflage. What sets this pheasant apart is its courtship dance. When a rival or a potential mate approaches, the male unfurls his tail into a semicircle and pivots slowly, displaying his glittering eye spots in a silent performance of hypnotic grace. A ground feeder, it sifts through the forest litter for insects, worms, fallen fruits, and seeds. Rarely seen in the open, it moves with measured stealth, pausing often to listen for danger. During the breeding season, the female selects a hidden spot to lay 1 or 2 eggs in a shallow scrape. She incubates them alone, while the male keeps watch nearby. His role, one of quiet protection. Catching a glimpse of this secretive beauty is like spotting a shadow embroidered with jewels, gone in a blink, yet unforgettable in its shimmer. Bornean whistling thrush, Myophonus borneensis. In the cool hush of Borneo's upland forests, just before dawn breaks, a mellow whistle threads through the dripping ferns. A sound so haunting, it seems the mountain itself is sighing. This is the Bornean whistling thrush, Myophonus borneensis, a bird whose name speaks volumes. Myophonus, from the Greek for power and sound, captures the essence of its bold, echoing voice. The species epithet honors its deep roots in Borneo, the only place on Earth where this elusive vocalist performs its twilight serenades. Exclusively found in the highlands of northern Borneo, this species dwells near fast-flowing rivers and shaded creeks, especially around Mount Kinabalu. It favors elevations above 3,300 feet, where the air is cool and the undergrowth thick. Measuring about 10 inches long, the Bornean whistling thrush wears a dark suit of midnight blue plumage with an oily sheen. In sunlight, its feathers glisten with hidden shades of violet, and a bold patch of royal blue glows on its shoulders like epaulets of a secret forest sentinel. Its most captivating trait is its voice, low-pitched, flute-like notes that roll through the valleys in early morning and dusk. Unlike many thrushes, this species sings solo, its call lingering in the air like a memory not easily forgotten. It stalks stream banks with measured steps, flipping leaves and probing crevices for insects, snails, and small frogs. Occasionally, it dashes into shallow water to snatch aquatic prey with swift precision. Breeding is thought to occur during the wetter months. Nests are cup-shaped structures hidden among rocks or vegetation, built from moss, roots, and wet leaves. Both parents share the duty of feeding the nestlings. When the forest hushes and water flows unbroken, the Bornean whistling thrush becomes the voice of the mountain, solemn, steady, and rooted in the rhythm of Borneo's living rivers. Bornean stubtail, Urosphena whiteheadi. There's a soundless flicker at your feet, barely a breath, barely a shadow. That's the Bornean stubtail, Urosphena whiteheadi, a near-mythical dweller of the mountain undergrowth. Its name fuses ancient Greek, ura meaning tail, and sphen meaning wedge, a perfect nod to its stubby, near-vanishing tail. The species honors British explorer John Whitehead, who first brought this reclusive forest spirit to the world's attention in the late 1800s. Endemic to the montane forests of northern Borneo, particularly the Crocker and Kinabalu ranges, this elusive bird thrives in shadowy thickets between 3,000 to 7,000 feet. It favors damp, tangled understory where leaf litter is deep and sunlight only trickles in. Barely stretching beyond 3.3 inches and weighing less than a coin, it is olive-brown above and pale gray below. Its short tail and rounded wings give it the look of a feathered pebble, darting low among roots and moss. What sets the Bornean stubtail apart is not its plumage, but its voice. Surprisingly loud and clear for a bird so small. Its call rings out with a sharp trill, bouncing through the foliage like a whispered code. It forages in secret, hopping mouse-like along the forest floor, flipping over leaves in search of insects, spiders, and small invertebrates. With its tail flicking ever so slightly, it moves in quick, deliberate bursts. Breeding is little documented, but it is thought to build dome-shaped nests close to the ground, hidden within dense vegetation, where the female lays 2 to 3 eggs and tends them in near silence. Like a shy ghost of the forest floor, the Bornean stubtail reminds us that even the quietest lives sing loudest, if we know how to listen. Sabah partridge, Arborophila graydoni. A rustle of leaves, a dart of movement at forest floor level, meet the Sabah partridge, Arborophila graydoni, a secretive gem of Borneo's highland jungles. The name Arborophila translates to tree lover, though this bird prefers the roots and leaf litter below. Its species name honors Dr. Graydon, whose early zoological work helped shed light on Borneo's elusive fauna. Exclusively found in Sabah, Malaysian Borneo, this partridge inhabits lower montane forests at elevations between 3,300 to 6,500 feet. It favors the mossy understory, where shadows stretch long and the air clings with mist. There, it navigates tangled roots and dense foliage with remarkable stealth. Compact yet sturdy, the Sabah partridge measures about 10 inches in length. Males display a rich chestnut crown, slate-gray breast, and finely barred flanks, while females are slightly duller. Their cryptic plumage melts into the forest mosaic, nature's perfect camouflage. Its most striking trait isn't visual, but auditory. The bird emits a series of low, rising whistles, hollow, flute-like calls that echo eerily through the undergrowth. Often heard before seen, its voice is the forest's whisper, announcing its presence only to those who listen. Foraging primarily at dawn and dusk, it scratches among dead leaves for seeds, beetles, and fallen fruit. Though shy, it sometimes joins mixed flocks of ground birds, moving deliberately but never hastily. Breeding behavior remains largely veiled, but nests are likely built in shallow scrapes lined with leaves. Only a handful of nests have been recorded, each clutch yielding 2 to 4 cryptically marked eggs. To witness this bird is to glimpse the breadth of Borneo's forest floor, quiet, cautious, and utterly vanishing. From the ancient peaks of Mount Kinabalu to the tangled roots of Borneo's mangrove swamps, Malaysia sings in feathers. Each bird we've met today is more than a marvel of nature. It is a voice in a greater chorus, one that tells of rain, renewal, and resilience. At BBTV Official, we believe that wonder leads to protection. If the birds of Malaysia have stirred your sense of awe, help us keep their voices heard. Subscribe, like, and let us know. Which bird left a mark on your heart today? Thank you for journeying beyond the canopy, where stories still wear feathers.